Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. So this morning, or this afternoon rather, it's lunchtime now, I wanted to come on and show you or demonstrate making little felt pumpkins. So this one I made a few years ago and it's been hanging around. I made a lot of just different sized ones, and medium, large and small, and over the years, you know, they got squashed. Children played with them, which was, you know, absolutely fine, but they're very easy to make and I just thought I'd make it. This one has lost its shape, so I'm going to put the shape back in. This one I made yesterday. Very simple and very easy to do if you've got the materials. So speaking of which, I've got this block of foam which you can use. These are little brushes that you can buy. They sometimes come with a needle felting kit, and you can use that to use for the same purpose. And then I had this, which was just some foam, probably some packaging, and I've been using that in the past and it's going a bit funny now. I've got quite a few of these because I used to teach needle felting, so you know, people would use these for the to protect themselves and well, you know, to have the impact of the needle. So this in here are my needles, or some of them. You can buy little kits and they often come with finger and thumb protectors. So that's a thumb protector and that's finger protector, which, you know, I would recommend especially if you're new. And then I have these needles. You can use these to put the needles in, and sort of like that one you've got, so you can put the needle in and you know, you can use that as your handle. So the needles come in, you can see, I mean, I haven't used them for quite a while actually. I haven't been doing needle felting for a while and they've gone a bit rusty in my, I'll use that one because it's not rusty, but they do come in different. That one's very fine. You can see the difference between those two actually. One's much thicker. They're lethal, and they have, I don't know if you can see, but they have little barbs on this bit here. So the needle, the sharp part of it goes to here, and then you've got the handle there, and then this is your really sharp bit and it's barbed. So the barbs help the fibres to pull together, but the needles are lethally sharp. So yeah, be very careful. So I will just take one. That's a nice fine one. They do break, so you would want a good pack of them if you're going to do it, but don't, you know, initially don't worry too much about how much you have. Just get a small, if you haven't got any, just get yourself a little pack, and you can get them online. I'm going to use the thinner one. Okay, so I'm lucky, I've got boxes and boxes of felting material. Well, this is wool, or it's fibre, and it's roving. It's called roving. It's fleece rather, sorry, I can't speak this today. It's fleece, sheep's fleece. This is merino, I think, and you know, obviously it's been dyed, it's been carded. So carding, I've got carding. You get two of these and they card, you can card, and it pulls out the fibres and makes them nice and smooth. So that's what you use to card. This is a very old one. I've got two, obviously. You can see it's really old, got leather around it, but I've had that a long time. So yeah, so it cards the wool out. This is the raw wool. Let me show you the raw wool. So this would be raw sheep's wool, and I've got a lot of that as well, and it still smells of lanolin. And it hasn't been carded. It's full of like bits of dirt and things, but I'm going to be using some of that. And then yeah, as I said, you've got these, and these are created using the carders, I think they're called, and you get these soft sort of combed fibres, and you can pull them out relatively easy like that. And that's what you're using, sort of the soft fibres like that. So the other option, if you haven't got sheep's wool, because if you can get this really cheaply. I've got a whole bag of it here. I've got another massive bag somewhere, I'm not sure where it is now. But this is a bag here, and it would just, you can see the bits of, you can see it's dirty. So yeah, ideally you can wash it and what have you. I haven't, being the grubby person I am. No, I think I haven't washed it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And then the other option is to use this stuff, so that you use this for stuffing toys and pillows and things like that. It's just a nylon fibre, and I've got another huge bag of this, and you can use that. So either will do. And again, that's if you're going to use this. Actually, if you're going to get sheep's wool, I've noticed that farmers have been offering it for free, or £5 a bag, and you get a huge bag of wool. But if you didn't want to use that, and for convenience sake, and you just got this stuff, this wadding or whatever it's called, stuffing, you know, it's cheap. It's relatively cheap to buy, and it's quite easy to handle. So this merino wool is not cheap. You can get different types. I've got coarse wool here, and I've been using this to make animals in the past, you know, to give more. So I've got quite a few of these in animal colours. So you can see that would be a red squirrel, fox, and that sort of thing. And then you've got mousy brown, and then, you know, so there's lots of different colours you can get if you wanted to do something realistic in terms of an animal. I have some animals that I've done in the past and I can't find them. I looked and looked and looked, and I just can't find them. I don't know where they would be. I would have really liked to have shown you them, because it's good fun, and you know, I've done a lot in the past. But if you have a look on my Instagram, there might be a couple of photographs on there of some of the things I've done. I did the last thing I did was a puffin, and I've done foxes and things like that. So, and badgers. Badgers was the favourite, because I used to sell them as well, and they were, you know, people would order them, and little badgers and things like that. So so I think that's all I can tell you. You can, you know, if you have a look for roving, I've got some little bags here as well. I was lucky enough to get these free off a lady who was giving them, and so I've got that, and that will go a long way. So that's about the amount that you would get if you bought some in a shop, in a ready pack, you know, a pack that's you're probably going to get that amount, and that will go a long way. So yeah, so, and you can have a look on you know, secondhand craft, you know, marketplace and places like that. Sorry. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to demonstrate. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll start with this, and I'll demonstrate how I put it's very simple, how I put the segments in. So I'm not measuring anything, I'm just literally going in with my needle. Now I hold the needle like this, and this, usually my little finger comes out, and I hold that one there. So I hold it like this, and that means that my needle rarely goes above, so I'm mitigating breaking the needle. So that's, I do break needles sometimes, so I'm sorry if it's wobbling, if the table's wobbling. Probably isn't the best table to do it on, but I'm in a bit of a mess because I was away yesterday, and I just haven't had time to, I've had to pull a load of things out, and I haven't had time to put them back, so this room is an absolute mess. But as you can see, it's fairly simple to get these segments going. You can see where they were before, I think. I can see some, and they don't have to be absolutely perfect, but you know, just, I shouldn't have done that. I should use your mat. I mean, you know, I sort of know how far I can push the needle in before it will get to the other side. But just, you know, try and keep your needle like that as opposed to that. That is a surefire way of breaking your needle. So always try and go, you know, from the side. So move your piece around rather than the needle, if you know what I mean. Don't bend your needle, because you will put pressure on it in the wrong area. And I mean, occasionally, you know, I forget and I'll do it. So if you see me doing it, don't do as I do. So anyway, I just thought you might like to see this, because yeah, Halloween is coming and everybody gets excited for Halloween. And there's lots of plasticky pumpkins around, so why not have a go? I've got a friend at the moment who's making some really nice fabric ones, and they just look gorgeous. So there you go, 2 nice little pumpkins to decorate or give away as gifts. And you can make the little stalk with, you know, the same sort of fabric, you know, the wool, or you can, so like a little piece like that, or you could actually maybe go and get a stick and glue it on, hot glue it on or something. But you would just add that in the same way that you added, you know, that you're pushing your needle in. So the needle is going in, and as it pulls out, it's pulling the fibres together. So in and out, and it's pulling the fibres together, and that's what creates this sort of effect. And you can get it as smooth, you know, the fibre doesn't have to be completely smooth. The fibres, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. I make mine reasonably firm, you can see they're quite firm. But again, that doesn't matter when you're initially starting out. You just make them whatever feels right to you. So I'm going to put those just to one side a minute. I'm going to get some, I'm going to use this just for convenience sake. I'm just going to pull out because it's a bit lumpy, and add a bit more. I'm going to try and make a bit of a bigger one, although this will come down to that side. Let me grab some more. I've got a whole bag of it. I don't want to get the bag out because it's sort of right in the corner, but I've got a whole bag of it. Okay, so I will pop that there, and I will make a start on creating a pumpkin shape, or a, you know, a round shape. And I'm just, oops. Right, you see how I put my needle down then? That is not advised. So this works just as well as wool in terms of shaping. So you're just shaping it at the moment and bringing the fibres in. So I hope everybody's well and having a good weekend. I'm okay. Just planning some nice videos, you know, for you guys. Just check. So yeah, it is very relaxing. You can have it on your knee if you've got something like this. So I would recommend using this in some form, because you just get that satisfaction of having a nice big chunk on your knee. And it's fairly cheap to buy. You can buy them in squares like this. I didn't cut them or anything. And I think I probably bought them from Amazon, or, you know, a long time ago. I used to teach in schools, and sometimes I would sort of do specialist work in schools, sort of art enrichment and things like that. And there was one school I was regularly going to every 3 months. I would go for 3 weeks and do an art enrichment program with them, and it was we did a project called The Living River. It was a beautiful project, and we used so many different materials, from this felting, we did wet felting, not needle felting, but to using resin, to drawing, to everything that you can think of, painting, drawing, and it was over this space of a year. So it was 3 weeks. So altogether it would have been 12 weeks that I did, and we had an amazing. No, it wouldn't have been 12. It can't have been. Anyway, it doesn't matter, 9 weeks or whatever. And we did. It was amazing. We had a really wonderful time. I worked with all year groups on different books. So the older groups did the resin, and we made a river outside of a beautiful river out of glass and resin outside. So yeah, but anyway, I worked with the younger age groups as well, and the little teeny tiny ones in reception year as well, and we all did, the children did panels of images of little frogs and birds and things like that, obviously with a lot of help, but they did the wet felting themselves, you know, little rolling pins and things like that, and wet felting. It was just amazing. And I took them. I was staying with my mum because I lived quite far away from the school at the time, and my mum lived closer, so I was staying at my mum's in the evenings going back, and I had to wash the little panels. They were only little square panels like this. I had to wash them, and I've got a photograph of them all on my line, just lined up all the way across my mum's garden. Again, that photograph, I don't think it is, but that photograph might be on my Instagram page. If you are on Instagram, check me out. I'm the Still Room Keeper, Apothecary, or the Still Room Apothecary. But actually, I'm at the Still Room Keeper. So if you're on Instagram, come over and say hello and have a look. 'Cause I don't know for sure, but there might be a photograph of the little panels on so you can see, no time at all, it's becoming pumpkin shaped. It's not as firm as I would like it, and when I put when I start to put the wool fibres on, it will shrink even more, so it's going to get smaller and more dense as I go along, but I've got it to where I want it right now. I think it does, sort of go into shape quite quickly, but if it doesn't happen as quickly for you as it does me, it's just because I've done a lot of felting. So just persevere, take your time, and just relax and enjoy it. It's a bit like slow stitching, just relax and enjoy it. Okay, so I think I've got what colour shall I do next? I'm just wondering whether to do a brown or a traditional sort of orangey one. What about that colour mixed with a bit of brown? So if I put a bit of brown down first. Now, because these have been sitting for quite some time in a box, they're not as easy to pull out. It's not as easy to pull out. So you sort of just relax your hand and pull like that, and you'll get softer fibres, and that's what you want. You don't want chunks, and you don't want to put it on like that. You want it soft because you're going to build up layers, and you want it a soft sort of like this. And you might think, well, why not put it on in chunks? It just doesn't work. It's not a good look. You really need to be putting, fibres on like that, soft fibres. So just, soft layers. I'm just going to just attach that a little bit, and then I'll put some more on, and then we'll make our way around. pull the fibres out. So yeah, because this has been sitting for some time, and also, you know, I'm in and out the box and what have you, and little fingers were in and out choosing colours. So because I have some very bright colours that the children used for their projects, and then I've had adult workshops. So if you enjoy this, if you find it, you know, if you like it, I am going to be doing a series of workshops in needle felting, making animals, but I will be on my membership page on Ko-fi as part of my membership. So as I think, you know, I've mentioned before, of course I will be continuing to offer workshops here and over there that you know, are not part of the membership, but I am just experimenting with the membership. If it doesn't work out, it's nothing lost. I'm not worried about it, but I'm going to try a membership. As I said, if it doesn't work, if people don't go across, then it's, you know, nothing lost. I'm just trying it out. So, you know, because I think you can imagine that materials get expensive, and as I'm offering more content, I like this one, it's a nice big one, although it will shrink more. Yeah, as I offer more content, you know, I'm going to require more. I get frustrated sometimes when I don't have the materials that I need, especially for mixed media. But it's the way it is, it's life sometimes, you know, and you have to be resourceful. So, but it would be nice, you know, for people to come along and be part of a membership group. And, you know, I think in some ways it will create more of a community feel, when people are more committed in that way. And I will, you know, be offering little goodies and things. So yeah, I think it will be fun. I'll try and make it fun. Please do come along. I'm just going to switch the light on as usual. For me it's dark. I don't know if it is for you, but it feels dark for me. It's not a dark day outside, but I've just noticed that the light isn't great. So you can see I'm just putting one layer down at the moment, and then I will put more layers down, but I'm going to use a lighter colour for the next layer anyway. So I'm trying not to put too much in the centre, although it doesn't. So when I pull it out here, I'm going to break it up so it's shorter fibres, so that I'm not putting a lot into the centre, and most of it is going around the edge like that. Hopefully that's the plan. So I had a lovely day out with my niece on Friday. We went to Newcastle and to a shop. It's a Danish shop, I think, or a Norwegian. Sorry if I don't mean to cause offence, I just can't remember. It had some really sweet little things in it, you know, and I bought some things. I got some little things, some crafting things. It wasn't too expensive, but it was just nice to have a wander. I bought a nice jumper for myself. It was supposed to be her birthday, sort of her spending her birthday money. It was her 21st birthday and she was going to be buying things for herself. She did buy a couple of things, but I bought more for myself than she bought, bless her. But anyway, we had a lovely time, went for coffee and what have you, and then in the evening we went to my sister's, her mum's, and we had sort of a girly evening. We had an Indian takeaway, and what else did we do? Oh yeah, we were going to be doing pumpkins, so I took all of my boxes, and they're big boxes to carry, so I was taking those over, and then but we ended up not doing them because you know how it is. We all got together and we were chatting, and then but we did. My son bought me some oracle cards for Christmas last year, and I took those. I like to do things like that, you know, sort of gatherings. It's quite a nice way of just having a bit of fun, you know. And so we all pulled a card, and it was just good fun. It was all good fun. Right, so I did overdo it on the round Newcastle. I must admit, my legs are killing me. I did too far, too long. I was out for too long walking. But there you go. Oops, needle went in my thumb. Luckily not too far. So you can see it's getting there. Nice pumpkin shape. Right, I think, as I said, I'm going to use some of this. Now this is quite a fluffy, it's not as sort of, as you can see, this is lays nice and flat. This is more fluffy. I'll put them together so you can see the difference. But let's see how we get on with it. And just add some stripes. I'm not worried. I'm not putting thick clumps on. I'm still putting, even though it's fluffy and you can see more on this area here, I'm still not putting thick clumps on. I'm putting thin. So I'll pull it out a little bit and then pull some out like that. You can pull the fibres out a little bit if you want to, just, you know, sort of stretch them out, I mean. And then there you go. And then you get some natural stripes in it, like this one, which makes it look a little bit more natural, I think. Okay. I think this is the bottom, actually. This is the top. I really hope you're enjoying the content. I promise you, I am going to do some journaling, a journal, you know, making a journal and making cards and all the lovely things that we like in journals. I'm just exploring other options for things at the moment, but and also I'm just, you know, this is fairly seasonal and I just wanted to get on with it and do it today, you know, time is passing. To give you a chance to maybe go out and buy the wool, and if you haven't got any before, because I know the shops sell them, but it is fun. And once you've got your needles and what have you, you know, you can do all sorts of things. Like I said, you know, you could even make a needle felted cover, like I made one recently. If you look back at my videos, there's it was wet felted and then needle felted on the top. I'll get it. I'll try and find it to show you in a minute, for those of you who haven't seen. But there is a video showing you the wet felting stage. I think there might be also some needle felting. Can't remember now. I might have done that off camera. Good. So it's a nice shape and it's nice colour. Nice colours, but I'm going to lighten it up and brighten it up a little bit as well. I just like the different colours of pumpkins, you know, they're not all orange. I know the traditional is orange and I like those, but yeah, I want just different colours as well. So I went for a walk yesterday as well, and I shouldn't have, because, you know, I say my legs were aching, but my sister's dog needed a walk, and my sister's a teacher and she was busy marking and doing things, you know. It's some weekends for her, it's so busy with catching up on work that she needs to do. Just going to push that in a little bit. So I don't want it to get much smaller than this, but I do want a brighter colour on top. But as you can see, you know, it's coming along. Now I could go for a lighter colour. I've got this colour, which I don't think is right. There's this colour. There's orange. Yellow. I've got some yellows. No, I don't think that. I have got these little bags. I've only got a few, but I've got the little bag here. I might try some of this over the top. It's the same as that, I think. Maybe I should try a little bit of this. Let's just see. I think I want something a little bit brighter, I think, but we'll see. Right, I'll just pull that out a bit. See what this looks like. You can do green ones, you know, those sort of pale white ones, any colours really. You know, you could try doing the knobbly ones if you were skilled with your needle. I quite like that actually. I think I'm going to carry on with that. It's nice, it feels nice. Put this here. Spread it out so you get different colours poking through. So yeah, it's been a busy weekend, but I'm struggling with my leg. I just can't walk that far, to be fair. It's just too much for me. But you know, I make these mistakes sometimes, and then just have to live with the consequences. You know, for a few days it will be painful or whatever, and I'll need to use heat or something. Ordinarily I would be what is called pacing myself. For those of you who suffer with chronic pain, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, so pacing, well, everybody knows what pacing is when you're pacing yourself, but you know what I mean. It's particularly relevant for people with chronic pain. We get ourselves into a mess sometimes by not pacing, and then you know, we have to remind ourselves we need to be doing that, otherwise we suffer. It causes problems, and it can take a while to recover. I'm hoping it's just a few days, but yesterday I had my heat pad on it and some heat robe, and obviously I take pain relief when I need to, and all of that sort of thing, and yeah, just try and look after myself. Hot bath, things like that, hot water bottles. Heat helps mine. I know some people like cold. I don't. My body doesn't tolerate the cold, so you know, whereas some people would say, well, put ice on it. No, thank you. I have put ice on my feet before when I've, you know, in the summer, when I've gone too far and my feet are hurting. But generally speaking, it would be heat for me. And it does help, definitely helps. I've got a TENS machine as well, but that doesn't really do very much. I don't know if anybody else on here has problems and uses TENS machine. I just can't get away with it. Well, I can get away with it. It's just that it doesn't really do very much for me. Oh, I like that. I like that, the darker stripe that I can see through there. So I might, that's nice. I like how this is a bit stripy. But you can see it's coming together nicely. But I don't know if you can imagine, if you're watching TV, as long as you don't prick yourself, you could do it while you're watching TV, listening to music, a podcast, YouTube, watching a YouTube video. But just be careful with your fingers, because it does hurt. And wear the little protection things, because they help. I mean, I've worn them before, but as I said, what I do is I put my fingers like that, or just like that, and then I know how far in I'm going, and I keep my hand away. So you're just using, that's it. I mean, I do prick myself sometimes, but I really like that one. I don't know what you think. I'm going to put a little bit darker in a couple of places, just to get a stripe, a little dark stripe, like maybe here. And you know, you can see you can start doing your little segments. You might even find them, like, you know, sort of occurring because you've got the way you've laid down your wool. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, when the first time we do anything, it takes a while to get used to learning new techniques. So just take your time and don't beat yourself up if it doesn't look perfect or as perfect as you want, you know. I mean, whatever perfect is in your mind, because it's not necessary. It's just you're trying something new, and it takes time to, you know, learn to do it in a way that you might be satisfied with. It just takes time. And just take your time and not worry about it. Just enjoy it, the relaxing nature of it. There's something quite satisfying about the sound of it going in and out. So you can start to feel, you know, how firm it is. If it's not very firm, if the fibres will, as it's handled, the fibres will start to come out. So try and get the fibres in as much as you possibly can, so that they're sitting in, you know, and pulling together, and so just make sure that you get them down. You will get some sort of furry bits, but you know, don't worry about those. Just try and make sure that it's as firm as you can get it at this stage. And then, you know, you can add to it, or you can leave it, and then depending on how much you want to work on it. All right, I think that's like a little bit more definition here. But yeah, I think it's coming together. And I could, you know, sort of create, see how it's getting smaller and smaller. Started off with a big piece, but I think it's pretty much done, to be honest. But yeah, I was going to say I could make lumps in it just by concentrating on one area. I don't particularly want to do that right now, but I could do it. Make it lumpy. Right, I think what I'm going to do now is carry on just creating segments. So let me just see where they were. So I had one, got one here. I'll go into the top then. I've got one here. One here. There we go. And then there. Oh no, and then here. And you don't have to create that many segments, you can just do a few. I might have done too many, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm happy with that. It's a nice little shape. So yeah, I hope you give it a go, and if you have an Instagram page and you want to share it with me, do connect with me on Instagram and so have a look and see if there are any photographs. They would be you know, a while back, but so you'd have to scroll back. Of the animal, I mean, I know for a fact that the fox is on there, but I don't know if there's anything. Oh, and the puffin, but I don't know if there's anything else. Trying to think what else there would be. Yeah, I mean, you might find some small ones, but I did. Oh, I tell you honestly, I got a commission to make, you know, those hairless cats. I had a commission from someone to make a hairless cat for a daughter for Christmas, and that was just such a challenge, and in some ways I wish I hadn't done it, because I just was never satisfied with it, but they seemed to like it. But yeah, that was, oh no, I don't think it was like she said, like a plushie, so I did my best, but yeah, when I look back I just think, oh my goodness, that's really unattractive. Okay, there we go. Right, I'll do the little stem. Let me just, as I said, you could use, if you wanted, you could use, so I'm just going to put those aside a minute over there, and I'll just make this, see this? So you can pull it up. This is from the white, you know, the inner bit. You can pull it up like that. You can use it. Just recycle it. Okay, so this is going to be the little stem. So watch your fingers here, just flatten it out, turn it over. You might need more on, you're just creating. Just keep your fingers out the way for this, because it's very small and you know, you don't need to be holding it at this stage. You could do sort of a nice big curly one if you wanted. That needs more work underneath. Yeah, so you could do a nice big twisty one if you want. I'm not too worried about doing, you know, for this purposes. So you could get as creative as you want. If you've got any sort of lovely gold threads that you want to weave into them, you could do that. You can, doesn't always have to be just wool, you can have all sorts of different things woven into it. Let me just show you my, if I've got it here. Oh, it's not there, where is it? Oh my goodness, I can't find a thing. There it is. So this is, just move that out of the way. This is both wet felted and needle felted. So these areas here are needle felted different fibres. So we've got cotton, sorry not cotton, we've got wool fibres here, curly fibres, and then here we've got silk fibres, and then and there, that's silk fibres, and then you can see here I've needle felted muslin on to it as well. Here some more, like, you know, wool that I needle felted initially and then couched as well, and just different colours, needle felted these circles on. So you can do lots of, you know, decorative things on your you know, your needle felting. It can be a very, and that is so thick. That was using raw sheep's wool in there that I did wash, and then these are sort of bits of wool or fleece that I had, that I added to it, and silk, as I said, there's some silk fibres, raw silk fibres in there as well. So yeah, and some stitching, some slow stitch. Loved making that, I must admit. It's going to be a cover for a book, but I haven't got around to finishing it off. Right, okay, so making the little stalk or stem. Stalk, it's a stalk, it's not a stem. And it's getting smaller, but it also is getting, you know, more rounded. So you just keep turning it. And you can hold it a little bit, but just keep your fingers well out of the way of where you're needle felting. Now you want to leave a soft bit because that's where you're going to add the stem on to your there, and just push it down with your needle. Whoops. And there you go. So there's pumpkin number 3, and I think they're all really pretty. So I hope you enjoyed that. I just thought of doing a short video. It's probably quite long actually already. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like more, let me know in the comments. And I will be back very soon with another video. So take care everyone. Bye for now.